Hey everyone, in this video I will explain how a gyroscope works, then I will explain how I play with the gyroscope, and then I will explain to you guys how to get started from the beginning steps and work your way to the advanced setup. That way you guys can understand and have your own play style and build it from scratch, and this video will cover everything that you need to know. Before we get started, this video is sponsored by State of Survival Zombie Apocalypse. This is a free mobile strategy game where you can upgrade your heroes and also your town. It's super fun and exciting to fight off zombies. The State of Survival has an amazing storyline as well. You grow along with the heroes as you play. Another thing to note is that State of Survival is a very good strategy game. You can actually plan a lot and build tactics to beat these zombies, and there's so many characters that you guys can unlock with. And after playing for a while, I actually recommend getting these two bundles, and they have such an amazing deal. And speaking of amazing deals, you guys can use the secret code to get stuff unlocked. Make sure you guys type SOS 999 and you guys can redeem 1000 bio caps. So what are you guys waiting for? Click the link in my description box to download State of Survival Zombie Apocalypse. Thanks State of Survival for sponsoring.
State of Survival. Play now.
Before we get started, you guys have to know the mechanics of gyroscope. So the mechanics of gyroscope is really simple. When you tilt your device, it's going to aim where you're tilting it. So for example, if I tilt my device backwards from the left side, it's going to aim to the left. You tilt your device to the right, it's going to move to the right. It's going to look that way. So that's the kind of the mechanics. If you look up, it's going to look up. If you look down, it's going to look down. That's basically the best way to describe gyroscope for those of you guys are wondering. So let's talk about how I actually aim and shoot. So I don't really use my thumb as much anymore, and the reason why is because I'm really used to using my gyroscope in order to aim down sight. So it helps with the recoil. So if you ever have a crazy build that you can't control, try gyroscope. It's going to help you with that. All you have to learn is how to basically push your device. You tilt your device down or up. No matter how you set up your gyroscope, it just has to be that way. You just got to make sure that you're tilting your device. Now there's other players out there that there's other methods that you can use in order to have this kind of setup. Now, for example, there is players that use their thumb to actually control their aim and their recoil and how they shoot and all that stuff. So there's some players that actually do that. They like to use their thumb, but I think that's kind of a big disadvantage in my honest opinion. For playing for a while now, I kind of understand that like it's not really worth it to actually use your thumb when you're using gyroscope. But there is some times where you use your gyroscope but you just can't seem to hit your target. Your thumb is going to come into clutch to actually get that target. There's many times I've been in a gunfight and I just couldn't use my thumb at that point because I'm so used to gyroscope actually completing that. But that's the problem. That's what we need to work on. It's the muscle memory. We have to actually use your thumbs once in a while. We have to remember that we have a thumb to help us with our aim. So it doesn't have to all depend on your device. We have to just get used to using our thumbs sometimes, because there is sometimes a fight and you just use your gyroscope to aim to the left, to the right, and you're controlling with your hands. You're tilting your device, but sometimes the enemy could be way too far on the left or to the right. You're going to tilt your device. You're going to need to use your thumb. So I'm going to explain how I actually use gyroscope in order to win gunfights. The first thing you have to understand is that I don't use my thumb on the right. I just hold it down on the screen and I only use it to look to the left or to the right. That's the only time I use it. There's other times where if it's an emergency and I can't actually kill someone while using gyroscope, my thumb on the right side comes in clutch and actually helps me aim. That's the only time I use the gyroscope with my thumb. Did you guys just see that? Where this guy was all the way to the left. I tilted my device all the way to the left, but I wasn't able to get him. So I had to use my thumb all the way to the left and I actually got him. Those are the things that I call emergency thumb. It's a funny name, but that's what I call it. When I need help, my thumb is my backup plan. So you want to make sure that when you turn on the gyroscope is that you learn to play with gyroscope and with your thumb. It's going to take a while, but once you get used to it, you're probably not going to realize that you're not using your thumb anymore. And that's kind of the problem. You're going to need to learn how to use your thumb again. The settings is a little bit the tricky part because a lot of people don't like listening to this. And this guy just messed up. He just lost his care package. I feel him. Anyways, back to the topic. When people start off with the gyroscope, they go with the highest sense settings and the highest gyroscope settings, and they try to like get used to it, but they panic because just a tiny little move on your device, you start to panic because it's so sensitive. And that's the problem. A lot of people get very scared. They go into a rank match and their screen's all shaky, and guess what? You don't want to use gyroscope and you start panicking and you don't want to hear me talk about it, and that's totally okay. But that's the thing with a lot of us is that we have to take it slow. So turn it on, but on the lowest settings, and work your way up. As you guys are watching this gameplay, this is a rank gameplay. Usually when I play rank, it's a little bit hard. Not hard, but it's a little different. And the reason why it's different is because I'm confident. I'm not, at the first time when I played rank, my aim was shaky. My device was really shaky and I was just panicking. My hands get a little bit, I guess not very stable. It was just not comfortable at all. And that's the issue with a lot of us, is that we like to just get started and be already there, but this isn't going to give you right away the best performance of your life. This is going to be a long-term process. You're going to have to learn step by step, little by little, until you get there, and it's going to take a while. It takes time to practice and it takes time to get used to it, but if you are able to manage this, I believe that it's going to make you a better player. And over the past month that I've been playing with gyroscope in Call of Duty Mobile, I have noticed that my skills has improved a lot. And I remember playing on the iPad, but I don't think I was this good ever. I'm so confident now. I'm actually running around in their spawns. I have a lot of videos and gameplays of me pushing teams that have 3 people watching their spawns or their sites, and I'm able to do that. I'm able to do aces. I'm able to plant the bomb confidently because I know I'm going to win that gunfight if they try to challenge me. Now, this season isn't the greatest because of the meta weapons and snipers and ARs. Every like, it's annoying. Every season there's always a better weapon out there, but that's a part of the game, and I'm not gonna complain about it in this video. But I'm using a submachine gun, and if I was using the AR and the sniper rifle and I mastered those, I think I would even reach my potential limits of the game, like where I'm just unstoppable at that point. But I'm trying to challenge myself. I'm like, okay, I'm playing on a phone now. I'm not playing on the iPad. I'm now playing on with a submachine gun. I'm not trying to go with the meta and actually use these overpowered weapons. I don't want to do that. I want to challenge myself. And when I put myself in this position where I said, you know what, let's actually try gyroscope, let's see where this takes me, and to my surprise, it's really good. And I recommend all of you guys that are watching this video, and if you're inspired and you're like, you know what, I want to give it a shot, go for it. My suggestion is you start slow, take your time to learn it, practice a little bit there and there, get into a practice mode, and actually try using gyroscope. It's definitely worth it. It's going to be really sick to see a lot of you guys actually running around with the gyroscope, kicking people's butts left and right, and everyone's going to be wondering like, hey, how does this guy actually do this? So let's start a trend. Let's start using gyroscope. But there is something that you need to know. It works really well on a phone or like a smaller device that's like kind of like a widescreen that fits in your hand. It doesn't really work well with tablets, and I've tried this before on the iPad and stuff like that, but it just doesn't really work that great. The iPad is, number one, it's really heavy, and most of the tablets are pretty heavy too, so imagine just holding a tablet. I mean, there's other ways where you can just put it on your like your knees, or like you can put a pillow or something behind it and it helps out, but it's just not really worth it at that point. So I definitely recommend you guys trying this out on a phone if you have one, and just play with it and just give it a shot. It's definitely really nice. It's really easy. And a lot of people always ask me why I don't play on the iPad. It's because I want more challenge. I think the iPad's kind of too powerful. Anyways, so I dropped 14 kills, 4 death. I'm going to show you guys my settings really quick from scratch, because a lot of people are going to be asking, hey, you didn't really show us the settings. But I'm right now going to explain what I have right now on. And as you guys can see, my shoot button is on the top, and right underneath it is just a regular hipfire. So I have ADS and hipfire, and this is basically this HUD that I use. Now, since you're using gyroscope and you're not really using your thumb anymore, you can actually lower your crouch button and your jump or your prone to your thumb, because you're not really doing much. You're just controlling it with your hands now. You're tilting your device to the left and right. But later on, like, I'm going to be actually maybe in the future switch it up a little bit and actually put the crouch or jump under next to my thumb. So that way, when I actually move around with the device, I will be able to just tilt my hands while also using my thumb to prone or jump at the same time. So it's going to be a little bit too OP, but these are my settings. Make sure to copy exactly what I have here. This is going to help out a lot. Gyroscope on. Also, my FOV is 60. I have the graphics at high. I have everything. The rest of the stuff on the bottom is muted. I also use fixed speed. A lot of people don't really know that, but fixed speed is what I use. Here's my camera sensitivity. I have really low settings. Like, a lot of people are shocked that I have such a low settings, and I definitely recommend low settings, because if you have low settings, you can be more accurate. With gyroscope, it's a little bit kind of 75 and 65s, so definitely recommend you guys try that out. If you're out there, give it a shot. It's definitely worth it, in my opinion. So when you start off, like I said, you should definitely lower it all the way to 25 and like work your way up. Every single game, bump it up by 5, and keep doing that every single time you finish your game until you, like, the next day or something. Bump it up by 5. See where you're really at, because sometimes some people go up to like 170 because they feel that way. But you have to test your settings every single game to see where you really like it, where it's really comfortable. And that's my take on that. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Slap a like, comment down below. See you guys in another one.